There is a quiet, heavy feeling that sometimes settles deep within the chest. It doesn't announce itself with noise or drama. It's a silent ache. It's the feeling that arrives when you believe, in some tender part of you, that your presence is an imposition. It is the unspoken apology for taking up space, for having needs, for simply being here. It's the subtle tension in your shoulders as you try to make yourself smaller, less noticeable, less of a bother. It is the constant, quiet hum of a question in the back of your mind. Am I too much? This question, often unheard by anyone else, can shape a life. It can quiet your voice when you have something to say. It can stop you from reaching out when you are lonely. And it can make you feel like an island, perpetually convinced that you are a shoreline others might crash against. What if this deep, familiar weight is not a fundamental truth about who you are? What if it is simply a story, a heavy cloak that was placed upon your shoulders so long ago that you've forgotten you have the power to let it fall? By the end of our time together tonight, we will have gently explored where this cloak came from, and you will feel the profound relief of setting it down, allowing you to drift into sleep, wrapped not in the weight of apology, but in the quiet, unshakable truth of your own inherent worth. For now, there is nothing you need to do, nothing to solve, nothing to fix. This time is a sanctuary. As you settle into your bed, allow the world outside this moment to fade. The day is done. The responsibilities, the interactions, the silent calculations of your own impact, let them all dissolve into the soft darkness of the room. This space, right here, is sacred. It is a space where nothing is asked of you. You do not need to be interesting, or helpful, or strong. You only need to be. Let's begin by inviting the body to understand this truth. Bring your awareness to your jaw. Notice if it is clenched, if your teeth are pressing together. This is a place where we hold unspoken words, where we brace ourselves for impact, where we hold the tension of trying to get it right. On your next exhale, consciously allow your jaw to soften. Let there be a small space between your upper and lower teeth. Imagine the muscles in your cheeks and around your ears melting, releasing a whole day's worth of held-back expressions. With every breath out, you are giving this part of you permission to rest, to be at ease. There is nothing you need to say or hold back right now. Now bring that same gentle awareness to your shoulders. Feel their position. Are they drawn up towards your ears as if carrying an invisible load? This is where we carry the weight of responsibility, both real and imagined. This is where the feeling of being a burden physically resides. As you inhale, imagine creating space around your shoulders. And as you exhale, let them go. Feel them drop, heavy and released, into the mattress beneath you. It's as if you are setting down two heavy bags you've been carrying all day long. Feel the wave of relief that spreads down your arms and into your back. You are not meant to carry the world, not tonight. Tonight, you are meant to be carried. Let your attention drift now to your hands. Notice if your fists are clenched or if your fingers are tense. Our hands are how we do, how we give, how we fix. They are often the last part of us to truly rest. Gently unfurl your fingers. Let your hands lie open and soft, palms facing up or down, whichever feels more natural. This is a posture of receiving. It is a physical declaration that for this time, you are done with doing. You are simply allowing yourself to be. The gentle weight of the air on your open palms is the only thing they need to hold. feel the energy in your body begin to shift from the tense posture of giving and guarding to the soft, open posture of rest and release. This is your natural state. The intention for our journey into sleep tonight is a simple and gentle one. It is not to fight this feeling of being a burden or to shame yourself for having it. The intention is simply to understand it with kindness, to see it for the old story that it is, and to lovingly set it down before you drift into sleep. Imagine this feeling is a heavy, scratchy wool blanket that you've been wrapped in for a very long time. It has kept you contained, but it has also been suffocating and uncomfortable. Tonight, we are not tearing it off. We are simply noticing its texture, acknowledging its presence, and then gently, thread by thread, we are going to allow it to unravel. And as it unravels, we will discover the soft, warm, and endlessly deserving being that has been underneath it all along. You. This process is not about effort. It is about allowing. It's about creating a space so safe and so gentle that the parts of you that are holding on so tightly can finally feel secure enough to let go. Sleep is a natural state of surrender, and tonight we will use its gentle tide to help us surrender this one painful story. A story that has convinced you that your worth is conditional, that your needs are an inconvenience, and that your existence requires justification. We will meet this story not with force, but with the softest compassion. We will listen to its origins, not to lay blame, but to bring understanding. And in that understanding, we find the key to our own freedom. There is a profound peace that awaits when you stop apologizing for your own existence. It is the peace of the tree in the forest, which does not worry about the space it takes up. It is the peace of the star in the night sky, which does not fret about whether its light is bright enough. It simply is, and its being is its contribution. This is the truth we are slowly, gently making our way back to. A truth that resides in your bones, in your breath, in the very core of who you are. The truth that you belong here unconditionally. So as you lie here, feeling the weight of your body supported completely by the bed beneath you, allow yourself to be held. Allow this moment to be a rehearsal for letting go. Let go of the day. Let go of the tension. And begin to let go of the long, tiring work of trying to earn your place. Your place is already yours. It has been waiting for you all along. Your only task now is to breathe, to listen, and to allow the gentle current of these words to carry you toward a deep and restorative sleep. A sleep where you are finally, completely, and utterly unburdened. Rest is your birthright. Let it begin now. Now, as you rest here in this quiet space, let's gently turn our attention toward that heavy cloak we spoke of. Without any need to change it, or fix it, or push it away, let's simply acknowledge it. Let's give it a name. It is the feeling of being a burden. Just saying the words, even silently in your own mind, can feel tender. A burden. It's a word that carries so much weight. It speaks of being heavy, cumbersome, an obstacle for others. For so many of us, this feeling is a constant, quiet companion. It is the shadow that follows us into rooms, the whisper that cautions us against speaking up, the unseen hand that holds us back from reaching out. The first step in lightening any load is to simply acknowledge its true weight, to look at it with gentle, curious eyes. We are not looking at it to confirm that it's true. We are looking at it the way a kind archaeologist might look at an ancient artifact, wondering about its story, how it was made, and what purpose it once served. Perhaps you recognize this feeling in the habit of minimizing your own needs. Think about the language you use. When someone asks how you are, is your automatic response, "I'm fine," even when your inner world is in turmoil? When you're struggling with a task, do you tell yourself, "I shouldn't bother anyone with this. I can figure it out myself," even if it takes you hours of stressful effort? This isn't just a habit. It's a profound act of self-effacement. It is the subtle art of making your needs invisible, not just to others, but sometimes even to yourself. You become so practiced at pretending you need nothing that you can almost convince yourself it's true. Almost. But the body keeps the score. The unmet needs linger as a quiet ache, a sense of depletion, a feeling of being unseen. This hesitation to ask for help is a core signature of this feeling. It's not born of arrogance or a belief that you are better than others. On the contrary, it is born from a deeply held, often unconscious, belief that you are less worthy of help than others. The thought of picking up the phone to call a friend when you're feeling low is met with a flood of internal negotiations. They're probably busy. They have their own problems. I don't want to bring them down. My problem isn't big enough to warrant their attention. And so, you hang up before you even dial, retreating back into the lonely silence, convinced you have done the right and considerate thing. You have protected them from the burden of you. But in doing so, you have denied yourself the connection you crave, and you have denied them the opportunity to show their care. And then there is the silent calculation. This may be the most exhausting part of carrying this weight. It is the constant running tally in your mind of what you cost other people. It is a form of emotional accounting that no one has asked you to do. When someone offers you a ride, you calculate the cost of their gas and their time. When a friend listens to you vent, you calculate the cost of their emotional energy. When a loved one does you a favor, you feel an immediate and pressing need to repay it, to zero out the balance sheet so you are never in their debt. This constant mental math turns relationships, which are meant to be a fluid dance of giving and receiving, into a rigid transactional economy. It keeps you on guard, ever watchful that you do not take more than you give, a task that is not only impossible, but also deeply isolating. It is exhausting to live this way, to constantly be monitoring and measuring your own impact, convinced that your natural state is one of deficit. You might find yourself saying sorry for things that require no apology at all. Sorry for taking up space on the sidewalk. Sorry for asking a question. Sorry for having a different opinion. The apology becomes a reflex, a preemptive strike against the possibility that you might be an inconvenience. It is the sound of you trying to shrink, to soften your edges, to ensure your existence causes as little friction as possible for those around you. It's important, as we witness these patterns, to do so without an ounce of judgment. These are not flaws in your character. They are not signs of weakness. They are, in fact, survival strategies. They are the deeply intelligent, though painful, ways a younger version of you learned to navigate the world. They are a testament to your sensitivity, your deep awareness of others, and your profound desire to be a source of good in the world. You learned, somewhere along the way, that the best way to be good was to be small, to be quiet, to need nothing. You developed these habits as a form of protection, a way to avoid rejection or criticism. And for a time, they may have worked. They may have kept you safe. But now, as you lie here on the edge of sleep, you can begin to feel the true cost of this protection. It has kept you safe, perhaps, but it has also kept you separate. It has built a wall around your heart that keeps out not just potential criticism, but also genuine love and support. Acknowledging this is a courageous act. It is the beginning of choosing a different way. You are simply noticing the weight, feeling its contours, understanding its shape in your life. You are not fighting it. You are not wrestling with it. You are holding it in the vast, warm, and compassionate space of your own awareness. You are saying silently to yourself, yes, I see you. I see how you try to protect me by making me small. I see the silent calculations and the unheard apologies. I see the weight you carry. And in this simple, gentle act of seeing, something profound begins to shift. The weight, for the first time, is no longer an unnamed dread. It is something known, and anything that is known can be understood. And anything that is understood can, in time, be healed. For tonight, this acknowledgement is enough. It is more than enough. It is a monumental step. You are simply witnessing, with kindness, the heavy load you have been carrying for so long. And you are doing so from a place of safety, comfort, and rest. Allow this awareness to be a soft pillow for your mind. There is nothing more to do with it right now. Simply notice and breathe. Let the truth of this recognition settle into you as you drift closer and closer to the healing sanctuary of sleep. As we continue to hold this feeling with gentleness, let's allow our curiosity to drift a little deeper. Let's wonder together, where did this story begin? This is not an excavation meant to find blame or to reopen old wounds in a painful way. It is a journey of understanding. We are like compassionate historians of our own hearts, looking back not to judge the past, but to see how it has shaped the present. The weight of feeling like a burden is not something you were born with. A baby does not apologize for crying when it is hungry. A toddler does not feel guilty for needing to be held. This feeling is a learned story, a belief system that was slowly, subtly, and often unintentionally woven into the fabric of your being. By tracing its threads back to their source, we can begin to loosen their hold on us today. For many, this story begins in the intricate dynamics of a childhood home. Perhaps you grew up in a household where resources were scarce, whether it was money, time, or a parent's emotional energy. You may have quickly learned that your needs were one more thing on an already overflowing plate. A request for help with homework might have been met with a sigh of exhaustion. An expression of sadness might have been met with, "I don't have the energy for this right now." These were not necessarily messages of rejection, but messages of limitation. Yet, a child's mind is not equipped to understand adult stress and scarcity. A child internalizes these moments not as "my parent is tired," but as "my needs are a problem." You learn to equate your needs with causing stress for the people you loved most. And so, you began the practice of silencing them, of becoming a good, low-maintenance child, one who didn't add to the family's burdens. Or perhaps the message was more direct. You might have been part of a family system where praise and affection were conditional. Love was not a freely given gift, but something that had to be earned. You received validation when you got good grades, when you helped with chores, when you made your parents proud. Your value, you learned, was not in who you were, but in what you did for others. Being helpful, useful, and productive became your ticket to belonging. In this environment, simply existing and having needs of your own felt like a failure to perform your function. You were not a human being, but a human doing. And in the moments you couldn't do, you felt you had no worth. The fear of being a burden became intertwined with the fear of being worthless. Think about the subtle messages you received about emotions. Were you in a family where certain feelings were unacceptable? Where anger was disruptive, or sadness was melodramatic? You may have learned that your emotional world was an inconvenience to the peace of the household. So you learned to swallow your tears, to push down your frustration, to present a calm and pleasant exterior, no matter what storm was raging inside. You learned that your inner life was a burden to others, something to be managed privately and never imposed on anyone. This disconnects you from your own emotional truth and teaches you that to be loved, you must present a carefully edited, more palatable version of yourself. The real you, with all your messy, beautiful, and valid feelings, felt like too much. It's also possible this story began outside the home. The schoolyard is a powerful teacher. Perhaps you were a sensitive child, one who felt things deeply in a world that often prizes toughness. Maybe you were teased for crying easily or for being quiet and thoughtful. You learned that your innate nature was somehow wrong, that to fit in, you had to be different, less sensitive, less quiet, less you. You began to see your own sensitivity not as a gift, but as a liability, a burden that made you different and difficult. And so you started building walls, trying to hide the most tender parts of yourself from the world, convinced they were flaws. As we gently consider these possibilities, let's bring a profound sense of compassion to the younger version of you who first learned to feel this way. Picture that child. See them in your mind's eye. See their small hands, their wide open eyes, trying so hard to understand the rules of the world, trying so desperately to secure their sense of belonging and love. This child was not wrong. This child was incredibly intelligent and adaptive. They learned the rules of their environment and figured out the best way to survive within it. Becoming quiet, helpful, and small was not a failure. It was a stroke of genius. It was a strategy for emotional survival. That younger you did the very best they could with the information and the resources they had. They chose a path that seemed to promise the most safety and the least amount of pain. And for that, they deserve not your judgment, but your deepest admiration and gratitude. They carried this heavy belief for you so that you could make it this far. Now, as an adult, resting safely in your bed, you have new information and new resources. You have the capacity to look back and offer that child the understanding they never received. You can be the compassionate witness they always needed. You can say to that inner child, silently from your heart, I see you. I see how hard you tried. I see the moments you felt you had to shrink to be loved. I understand why you learned to believe you were too much. You weren't. You were never too much. Your needs were valid. Your feelings were important. Your sensitivity was a strength. You did nothing wrong. Thank you for protecting us, for getting us here. Now you can rest. I can carry it from here. and I choose to set the burden down. Feel the truth of those words. Let them be a soothing balm on old wounds. This isn't about erasing the past. It's about reparenting ourselves in the present. It's about giving ourselves the compassion and validation that we may not have received in the moments we needed it most. By understanding where the story began, we rob it of its power. It is no longer a fundamental, unchangeable truth about who we are. It is revealed for what it is, a collection of old beliefs formed by a child trying to make sense of a complex world. And old beliefs, once they are brought into the light of gentle awareness, can be updated. They can be released. They can be replaced with a story that is truer, kinder, and infinitely more liberating. Allow this compassionate understanding to cradle you as you drift toward sleep. You are healing, even as you rest. As this gentle understanding settles within you, it's so important to know this. You are not alone in this feeling. As you lie here in the quiet of your room, it can be easy to believe that this heavy sense of being a burden is a uniquely personal failing, a secret flaw that only you possess. But the truth is, this feeling is a quiet epidemic. It is a shared human experience, a weight carried in the hearts of countless gentle souls all over this world. Right now, in this very moment, there are thousands, perhaps millions of other people lying awake, wrestling with the very same whispers that you hear. People who are kind and thoughtful and deeply caring, who are also silently asking themselves, "Am I too much?" Imagine them for a moment. A nurse at the end of a long shift, replaying a conversation with a colleague, worrying she asked for too much help. A new parent, exhausted and overwhelmed, hesitating to call a friend because they don't want to be a downer. An artist, staring at their work, afraid to share it for fear of taking up too much attention. A student, struggling with a concept, who doesn't raise their hand in class because they don't want to slow everyone else down. An elderly person who needs assistance but says, "I'm fine, dear," because they don't want to be an imposition. These are the quiet heroes of the everyday, the people who move through the world with an immense capacity for empathy, often directing it everywhere but back at themselves. This feeling is not a sign that you are broken. It is a sign that you are exquisitely sensitive to the world around you. You have a finely tuned nervous system, an antenna that picks up on the subtle emotional currents in any room. You are attuned to the moods of others, aware of their needs, and deeply conscious of your impact. This is, in so many ways, a profound gift. It is the very quality that makes you a compassionate friend, a devoted partner, a thoughtful colleague, and a kind human being. You are the one people turn to because they know you will truly listen. You are the one who remembers the small details. You are the one who notices when someone else is struggling. Your sensitivity is the source of your greatest strengths. And yet, like any powerful gift, it has a shadow side. When this sensitivity is not balanced with an equally powerful sense of self-worth, it can turn inward in a painful way. Your awareness of others' needs can become a reason to neglect your own. Your desire to cause no harm can transform into a fear of taking up any space at all. The very thing that makes you so full of care for others becomes the instrument of your own self-diminishment. It is a painful, but perfectly understandable paradox. This feeling of being a burden is not a flaw in your character. It is a direct and logical consequence of your deep capacity for care, when it is not yet matched by a deep capacity for self-care. So, let's validate this experience right here and now. Let's wrap it in the warmth of acceptance. This feeling you carry is not irrational. It is not something you should just get over. It is a real and painful response to your past experiences. The younger you, who we met with such compassion, learned this feeling as a way to navigate their world. It was a logical conclusion based on the evidence they gathered. If needing things seemed to cause stress, it was logical to stop needing things. If expressing feelings seemed to push people away, it was logical to hide those feelings. If being helpful earned you love, it was logical to become endlessly helpful. This feeling is a testament to your intelligence and your adaptability. It is an old survival map that you are still carrying. And the beautiful thing is, you are no longer in that old territory. The map, while once essential, may no longer be serving you. But we don't tear up an old map with anger. We honor it for the guidance it provided. We thank it for getting us safely through a difficult landscape. And then, with wisdom and self-compassion, we can choose to draw a new one that reflects the truth of the world we live in now. A world where you are safe. A world where your needs are welcome. A world where your sensitivity is a superpower, not a burden. So let this affirmation sink into your heart, not as a command, but as a gentle, soothing truth. Let it be a whisper that begins to override the old, harsh recordings in your mind. Just listen to the words and let them land where they need to. Your sensitivity is not a flaw. It is a sign of your deep capacity for care. Feel that for a moment. Your sensitivity is not a flaw. It is a sign of your deep capacity for care. It is the wellspring of your kindness. It is the engine of your empathy. It is the reason you are able to connect so deeply with the beauty and the sorrow of the world. It is not something to be managed or overcome. It is something to be honored, to be cherished, and to be protected with fierce tenderness. The world does not need you to be less sensitive. The world desperately needs the gifts that only your sensitive heart can offer. The challenge and the journey we are on tonight is to learn how to offer that same beautiful, tender care to yourself. Knowing you are not alone changes everything. It lifts the shame. It dissolves the isolation. It connects you to a vast and invisible community of gentle souls. When you feel that old, familiar weight in your chest, you can remember this. You can remember the nurse, the parent, the artist. You are part of a tribe of the tender-hearted, the deeply feeling, the ones who care so much it sometimes hurts. And there is an immense strength and beauty in that. You belong to a lineage of kindness. And tonight, you are learning to finally, gently include yourself in the circle of your own care. Allow this feeling of shared humanity to be a comforting blanket as you drift. You are not an island. You are part of a vast, interconnected web of life, and your presence here is essential. You belong. Let's explore a truth so fundamental, so simple, that we often overlook it in our complex human lives. It is the sacred nature of needing. We live in a culture that often glorifies independence, self-sufficiency, and resilience. We are taught to be strong, to stand on our own 2 feet, to pull ourselves up by our bootstraps. And while there is strength in these qualities, they have been twisted into an unhealthy ideal of complete self-reliance, an illusion that a successful human is one who needs nothing and nobody. This illusion is the very soil, in which the feeling of being a burden grows. But tonight, we are going to gently pull this weed up by its roots and examine it in the soft moonlight. The simple, profound truth is this: to be a living creature is to have needs. It is not a sign of weakness. It is the most fundamental sign of life. Think about it in the simplest terms. Right now, your body has needs. It needs oxygen, so you are breathing. It needs rest, so you are lying here. Soon, it will need water and food. These are not moral failings. You do not feel guilty for needing to inhale. You do not apologize to the air for taking up your share of oxygen. It is the natural, beautiful rhythm of existence. Needing is the engine of life. It is the impulse that drives a baby to cry for milk, a seed to push through the soil toward the sun, a river to flow toward the ocean. It is the force that connects everything. To deny our own needs is, in a way, to deny our own aliveness. Consider a garden. Imagine a single beautiful flower. For this flower to thrive, it needs so much. It needs rich soil full of nutrients. It needs a steady supply of water. It needs the warmth and energy of the sun. It needs the bee to come and share its pollen. It needs space to grow. Does the flower feel like a burden to the soil for taking its nutrients? Does it apologize to the rain for being thirsty? Does it feel guilty for soaking up the sunlight? Of course not. The flower's needs are not an inconvenience to the garden's ecosystem. They are an essential part of it. The flower's act of receiving these things allows it to blossom. And in its blossoming, it offers its beauty, its fragrance, and its nectar back to the world. It provides for the bee. It brings joy to the gardener. It enriches the very soil it draws from. Its needing and its giving are part of the same perfect, interconnected cycle. And so it is with you. You are no different from this flower. Your needs for rest, for nourishment, for connection, for understanding, for joy, for safety. These are not selfish demands. They are the soil, the water, and the sunlight that you require to blossom into the fullness of who you are. When you allow your needs to be met, you are not taking from the world. You are participating in the sacred cycle of life. By allowing yourself to receive, you gather the strength, the energy, and the resilience to then give back in the ways that only you can. When you are rested, you can be more patient. When you feel connected, you can be more compassionate. When you are nourished, you can be more creative and generous. Denying your needs doesn't make you a better, more giving person. It slowly depletes you, leaving you with an empty well from which to draw. The belief that our needs are a burden often comes from a misunderstanding of what love and relationships are. We come to believe that to be lovable, we must be needless. We imagine that the ideal partner or friend is one who asks for nothing. But think about the relationships you cherish most in your own life. Is it a one-way street? Do you only value the friends who never ask you for anything? Or is the richness of that connection found in the mutual flow of giving and receiving? When a friend trusts you enough to call you when they're having a hard day, is it a burden? Or does it feel like an honor? When someone you love allows you to comfort them, to make them a cup of tea, to simply sit with them in their sorrow, does it drain you? Or does it deepen your bond and allow you to express your love in a meaningful way? To be needed is to be reminded that we matter. To meet a need for someone we care about is one of the most fulfilling human experiences. When we refuse to share our own needs, when we insist on handling everything ourselves, we are not just depriving ourselves of support. we are robbing the people who love us of the gift of giving to us. We are denying them the chance to feel useful, to express their care, to be a part of our lives in a real and tangible way. We are holding them at arm's length, silently communicating, "I don't trust you enough to be vulnerable with you." Allowing yourself to need is an act of profound trust and intimacy. It is the glue that binds us together. So let this new truth begin to settle into your bones, into the very cells of your body. Let it be a gentle lullaby for your nervous system. Your needs are not an inconvenience. They are a vital sign that you are alive. Breathe that in. Your needs are not an inconvenience. They are your life force asking for what it requires to continue. They are your inner compass, pointing you toward what will bring you health and wholeness. They are not a sign of your inadequacy, but an indicator of your humanity. Learning to listen to your needs, to honor them, and to ask for them to be met is one of the greatest acts of self-love you can undertake. It is a quiet revolution against the story that you are too much. It is a radical claiming of your own right to exist, to take up space, and to thrive, just like the flower in the garden. And as you drift deeper now, into the warm and welcoming darkness, allow yourself to feel the truth of this. You are a part of this world, and you have a right to be nourished by it. There is nothing you need to do to earn this right. It is yours simply because you are here, breathing, alive, and wonderfully, beautifully human. Now, having understood with such compassion where this story came from, having seen that you are not alone in this feeling, and having touched the sacred truth that your needs are a vital sign of life, we arrive at a very gentle and peaceful threshold. This is a moment of permission. You have carried this weight of being too much for so long. You have carried it through days and nights, through challenges and joys. You have carried it so faithfully that it has begun to feel like a part of you, like the shell on a turtle's back. But it is not you. It is a story. It is a heavy cloak. And right now, in the safety and stillness of this moment, you have the permission to set it down. You don't have to carry it into your sleep tonight. Let's create a safe, internal space for this release. Imagine, in your mind's eye, a place that feels utterly peaceful and secure to you. It might be a quiet forest grove, dappled with sunlight. It could be a calm, secluded beach at twilight, with the waves gently lapping at the shore. It might be a cozy room with a warm fireplace, or even a vast, starry expanse where you are floating weightlessly among the constellations. It doesn't need to be a real place. Just allow your imagination to conjure the first image that comes to mind that brings with it a feeling of profound peace and safety. See the details of this place. Feel the temperature of the air on your skin. Hear the gentle sounds that fill the space. This is your inner sanctuary. In this place, you are completely safe. You are completely accepted. Nothing is required of you here. Now, in this safe space, become aware of that heavy cloak of guilt and obligation. Give it a form. Perhaps it looks like a thick, gray woolen blanket, heavy and damp from years of travel. Maybe it feels like a suit of armor, clunky and restrictive, that you've been wearing for protection. It could be a heavy backpack filled with stones, each stone representing a time you felt you were a burden. It doesn't matter what it looks like. Just allow a symbol to emerge for this weight you've been carrying. Feel its texture, its temperature, its true heaviness on your shoulders and your back. Acknowledge it one last time. Thank you. You might whisper to it, "Thank you for trying to keep me safe. Thank you for teaching me how to be sensitive and aware. Your job is done now. I am safe, and I am ready to let you go." And now, with a slow, deliberate movement in your imagination, begin to unburden yourself. If it is a cloak, feel your hands moving to the clasp at your neck. With a gentle click, you release it. Feel the weight begin to shift as you allow it to slide from your shoulders. There is no effort, no throwing it away in anger. You are simply letting it go, allowing gravity to do the work. Feel it slip down your back, down your arms, and pool on the ground behind you. And as it falls away, feel the immediate lightness in your body. Feel the air on your skin, fresh and cool, in places that have been covered for so long. Take a deep, full breath into your chest, a breath that wasn't possible when the cloak was tight around you. Feel the expansion, the freedom, the release. If you imagined a suit of armor, you can unbuckle the straps one by one. With each release, a part of you feels lighter. The heavy helmet comes off, revealing your face to the gentle air. The breastplate is set aside, allowing your heart to breathe freely. Limb by limb, you step out of the heavy casing, leaving it standing empty beside you, a monument to a battle that is now over. And you stand there in your own skin, flexible, soft, and alive. If you imagined a backpack of stones, you can slowly, carefully take it off your shoulders. You can open the top and take out the stones one by one, examining them with curiosity but without judgment, before placing them gently on the ground. This one is from childhood. This one is from a past relationship. This one is from a misunderstanding. As you empty the bag, it becomes lighter and lighter, until finally it is empty, and you can set it down too. Whatever your image was, spend a moment in this sanctuary, feeling the absence of that weight. Notice the change in your posture, even as you lie in bed. Your shoulders feel broader, more relaxed. Your spine feels longer. Your breath feels deeper. This is your natural state. This lightness, this freedom, this ease. This is who you are beneath the story of being a burden. This is your birthright. You are not meant to move through the world constricted and heavy. You are meant to be free. And here, in this internal place of peace, give yourself the most profound and simple permission, the permission to simply be. You do not need to earn your rest tonight. You do not need to justify your existence. You do not have to perform or provide or perfect anything. You have permission to be tired. You have permission to be imperfect. You have permission to have needs that are unmet and questions that are unanswered. You have permission to simply exist, breathing in and breathing out, a beloved and essential part of this universe, no more and no less than the stars above or the earth beneath you. Let this feeling of permission wash over you like a gentle wave. It is the antidote to the constant pressure you put on yourself, the pressure to be useful, to be easy, to be good. Tonight you can release all of that. Your only job is to be here in this bed, in this body, in this moment. The world will not fall apart if you stop holding it up for a few hours. The people in your life will be okay if you take this time solely for yourself. In fact, by allowing yourself this deep, unconditional rest, you are gathering the resources you will need for tomorrow. But that's not why you're doing it. You are doing it because you are worthy of it right now, just as you are. You deserve to lay down your burdens. You deserve to feel light. You deserve a peaceful sleep. and you are the only one who can truly give yourself that permission. So give it now, freely and fully. The cloak is on the ground. You are free. Let this feeling of lightness be the vessel that carries you into a deep and truly restorative sleep. Now that you have given yourself permission to set the heavy cloak down, let's anchor this new feeling of lightness in the very rhythm of your body, in the gentle, constant miracle of your breath. Your breath is the most honest part of you. It cannot pretend. When you are anxious, it becomes shallow and quick. When you are at peace, it is deep and slow. It is the bridge between your mind and your body, a powerful and accessible tool for guiding your inner state. Tonight, we will use it not as a chore, but as a gentle invitation, a way to physically embody the release you just imagined. We will practice ever so softly, breathing out the unspoken apology for existing. Let your awareness come to rest on the natural flow of your breath, without needing to change it at first. Simply notice the sensation of the air entering your nostrils, cool and fresh. Follow it as it travels down into your lungs, causing your chest and belly to rise. And then notice the release of the exhale, the warm air leaving your body, your belly and chest gently falling. Just this simple act of noticing is a profound form of self-care. It is a way of saying to yourself, I am here, I am alive, I am breathing. For a few moments, just be with this rhythm. Inhale and exhale. Each breath is a quiet confirmation of your place in the world. Now, let's add a gentle intention to this rhythm. As you inhale, imagine that you are breathing in a sense of belonging. Imagine the air around you is not empty space, but a substance filled with acceptance and peace. With every breath in, you are drawing this golden, warm light of belonging into every cell of your body. It fills your lungs. It flows through your bloodstream. It reaches the tips of your fingers and the soles of your feet. It is a silent message delivered on the breath that says, you belong here. You are a welcome and essential part of this universe. Inhale that feeling of being completely, unconditionally welcome. And then, on the exhale, we will release. As the air naturally and effortlessly leaves your body, imagine that it is carrying with it the residue of that old, heavy story. Imagine you are breathing out the unspoken apology you have carried for so long. The sorry for taking up space. The sorry for having needs. The sorry for being you. You don't need to force it out. The exhale is a natural letting go. Just allow it to happen. With each breath out, you are releasing a little bit more of that tension, that need to justify your own existence. Inhale, belonging. And exhale the apology. Let it dissolve into the air of the room, where it is neutralized, rendered powerless. It is not yours to carry anymore. Let's continue this gentle rhythm for a few more cycles. Inhaling the truth of your inherent worth, the simple fact that you belong here just as you are. Feel it nourishing you from the inside out. And on the exhale, the soft, effortless release of the old, tired belief that you need to apologize for your presence. With every cycle, you are recalibrating your nervous system. You are teaching your body a new truth. You are moving from a state of bracing yourself, of making yourself small, to a state of gentle, open presence. There is no need to rush. The breath is your patient and steady guide. Inhaling, welcome. Exhaling, apology. Notice what happens in your body as you continue this practice. Feel the space that begins to open up in your chest, around your heart. This is where we hold the tension of feeling like a burden. It's a tightness, a constriction, a physical manifestation of the belief that we must be guarded. As you breathe out the apology, feel this area begin to soften and expand. It's as if a tightly clenched fist is slowly, finger by finger, beginning to open. Your heart has more room to beat. Your lungs have more room to expand. You are physically taking up more space in the most beautiful and natural way, simply by allowing yourself to breathe fully. This is not an aggressive act. It is a peaceful claiming of your own vitality. The need to constantly justify your presence is exhausting. It creates a low-level chronic tension in the body. It's the tension of constantly trying to be smaller, quieter, or less needy than you naturally are. It's the physical effort of holding yourself back, of editing your impulses, of swallowing your words. As you exhale, imagine you are releasing this specific tension. The tension in your throat from words left unspoken. The tension in your stomach from feelings left unexpressed. The tension in your shoulders from responsibilities you've taken on that were never yours to carry. Let it all go on the out-breath. Let your body sink more deeply into the mattress, heavy with relaxation, no longer needing to hold itself in a state of apology. You are replacing the old reflex of apology with the new, truer reflex of acceptance. You are breathing in the simple reality that your existence is not a problem to be solved. It is a fact to be celebrated. Your breath, this simple automatic process, becomes a conscious act of self-reclamation. It is a quiet declaration of your right to be here. And the beauty of it is its effortlessness. You do not have to struggle to belong. You do not have to fight for your place. You just have to breathe. Your very breath is your proof of belonging. It connects you to the air, to the trees that made the oxygen, to every other living creature that shares this atmosphere. You are part of the great breath of life. As you feel yourself drifting closer to sleep, you can let go of the conscious intention and just trust that the wisdom of this practice has been absorbed by your body. Your breath will continue its gentle rhythm as you sleep, and with each cycle, it will be subtly reinforcing this new pattern of release and acceptance. You have planted a seed of self-compassion deep within you, and the gentle waters of your breath will nourish it as you rest. There is nothing more you need to do. Simply allow your breath to be your lullaby, carrying you into a sleep free from the weight of apology, a sleep that is deep, peaceful, and profoundly deserved. As you float in this calm space between wakefulness and sleep, feeling the lightness in your body and the gentle rhythm of your breath, let's invite a new image into your mind, a simple, powerful metaphor to serve as a quiet anchor for this emerging truth. Picture a vast, ancient forest, a forest that has stood for thousands of years, teeming with life, wisdom, and a deep, humming silence. Feel yourself standing in the midst of it. Sunlight filters down through the high canopy, creating shifting patterns of light and shadow on the forest floor. The air is cool and smells of damp earth, pine needles, and decaying leaves. The rich scent of life, death, and renewal all at once. Now, bring your attention to a single, magnificent tree. It could be any kind of tree that feels strong and beautiful to you. A towering redwood, a sturdy oak with wide spreading branches, a graceful silver birch. Choose one and see it clearly in your mind's eye. Look at this tree. Notice the texture of its bark, the intricate patterns of its leaves, the way its branches reach for the sky. Feel its presence. It is solid, grounded, and completely unapologetically itself. Now consider this. The tree does not worry about being a burden to the forest. It does not fret about whether it is taking up too much space. Its roots delve deep into the earth, drawing water and nutrients, and it does not apologize to the soil for its thirst. Its branches spread wide, capturing sunlight, and it does not feel guilty for the shade it casts on the ferns below. The shade it provides is, in fact, essential for the ferns to thrive. The tree does not calculate how much oxygen it produces versus how much carbon dioxide it consumes. It does not stay small and stunted for fear of inconveniencing the other trees. It simply is. It exists. And in its very existence, in its unapologetic being, it contributes profoundly to the entire ecosystem. Its roots hold the soil together, preventing erosion. Its leaves, when they fall, decompose and enrich the earth, feeding the very ground it draws from. Its branches provide a home for birds, squirrels, and insects. Its presence creates a microclimate that allows other, more delicate plants to grow. It is a vital, irreplaceable part of the forest's web of life. And it achieves all of this not by trying, not by striving, not by worrying about its impact. It achieves it simply by being a tree, as fully and completely as it can be. Its being is its doing. Its existence is its gift. And you, as you lie here, are no different from this tree. For so long, you may have been trying to be a small, unobtrusive bonsai tree, carefully trimmed and contained, believing that was the only way to exist without being a bother. But your true nature is that of the wild, magnificent tree in the forest. You are meant to take up space. Your roots are meant to go deep to find the nourishment you need. Your branches are meant to reach for the light that fills you with energy. Your very presence in the world is a contribution, whether you are aware of it or not. Let's reframe your existence through this lens. The space you occupy is not space you are taking from someone else. It is your unique place in the tapestry of the world. The resources you need to thrive, love, connection, rest, joy, are not a drain on some finite supply. They are the water and sunlight that allow you to grow strong and offer your own unique gifts back to the world. The impact you have, the shade you cast, the way you change the environment simply by being in it is not an inconvenience. It is your essential role in the ecosystem of humanity. Perhaps your quiet presence brings a sense of calm to a chaotic room. Perhaps your unique perspective, when you finally share it, unlocks a new idea for someone else. Perhaps your own struggle, when witnessed by another, gives them the courage to face their own. You contribute in countless ways you will never even know, just by being you. The star does not apologize for shining. The river does not apologize for flowing. The mountain does not apologize for its stillness and its height. They do not question their right to exist. They simply embody their own nature, and in doing so, they create the world we know. They hold a profound lesson for us, the lesson that our being is enough. You do not need to constantly produce or serve or achieve in order to justify your place on this planet. Your worth is not measured by your utility to others. Like the tree, your primary purpose is simply to be as fully and authentically as you can. To grow, to reach for the light, to feel the seasons change within you, to stand in your own quiet dignity. So, for these last few moments before you drift completely into sleep, hold this image of the tree in your heart. Feel your own body as a kind of tree. Your feet and legs are your roots, connecting you to the deep, stabilizing energy of the earth. Your spine is your strong, flexible trunk. Your arms are your branches, reaching out to connect with the world. And your breath, like the leaves, is your constant, life-giving exchange with the atmosphere. Feel yourself grounded, centered, and whole, a natural, essential part of the world. You belong here. There is a place in the forest that is shaped exactly like you, and you are in it. Let this profound, peaceful truth be the landscape of your dreams tonight. You can release the exhausting job of self-monitoring and self-justification. You can let go of the belief that you must remain small to be acceptable. Tonight, you can simply be the tree, standing tall, rooted deep, and breathing with the ancient steady rhythm of the forest. And in this state of simple, profound being, you will find the deepest and most restorative rest. As the image of the tree settles deep within you, a quiet and solid presence, let's turn our attention to one of the central pillars of the story of being a burden. It is a belief so deeply ingrained, so woven into the fabric of our culture, that we often don't even see it as a belief. We see it as a fact. It is the idea that care, love, and kindness must be earned. We are taught this from a young age. Be good and you'll get a treat. Finish your chores and then you can go play. Work hard and you will be rewarded. The formula is simple. Service and sacrifice come first, and the reward of care or rest comes second. This transactional model is then applied to our entire lives. We believe we must be a good enough partner to deserve affection. We must be a productive enough employee to deserve our salary and our time off. We must be a helpful enough friend to deserve support in our time of need. We live on a relentless treadmill of earning our worth, proving our value, and justifying our existence day after day. This belief system creates a state of perpetual debt. We always feel like we owe something. If someone is kind to us for no reason, we become suspicious or uncomfortable. We feel an immediate pressure to repay the kindness, to even the score, so that we are not indebted to them. The idea of receiving something for free, of being cared for simply because we are here, can feel deeply unsettling. It goes against the entire operating system we have been taught. It is this operating system that whispers, "You haven't done enough to deserve this rest," or "You can't ask for help until you've tried everything yourself," or "You are being lazy if you just stop and do nothing." It is the voice of the earner, the striver, the one who believes that their value is conditional. But tonight, we are going to gently and lovingly dismantle this belief. We are going to introduce a truth that is much older, much deeper, and infinitely kinder. It is the truth that you are worthy of care simply because you exist. Your worth is not a stock price that goes up when you are productive and down when you are tired. It is not a grade on a report card. It is not a performance review. Your worth is inherent. It is the simple, unchangeable, and profound fact of your aliveness. It is in your breath. It is in your heartbeat. It is in the unique constellation of thoughts, feelings, and experiences that make you, you. You were born worthy of care. As a baby, you did nothing to earn the food, shelter, and comfort you received. You were cared for simply because you were there, because you were a vulnerable and precious form of life. And that fundamental truth has not changed. You have grown, you have learned, you have taken on responsibilities, but you have never, not for one single moment lost that inherent worthiness. Let's think about this from a different angle. Do you believe the beautiful tree in the forest has to earn the rain? Does the sun ask a flower to justify its existence before shining upon it? Does the earth demand that a river perform a service before allowing it to flow? The natural world operates on a principle of grace, of unconditional giving and receiving. Life is supported because it is life. You are a part of this natural world. The rules of transaction and earning are human constructs, stories we have told ourselves. And because they are just stories, we can learn to tell ourselves a new one, a truer one. This new story says that rest is not a reward for exhaustion. It is a prerequisite for a healthy life. Connection is not a prize for being interesting. It is a fundamental human need, like air and water. Kindness is not a payment for good behavior. It is the recognition of the shared humanity in another. When we begin to live from this place, everything shifts. We stop seeing self-care as an indulgence and start seeing it as a vital necessity. We stop hiding our needs and start honoring them as important signals from our body and soul. We stop keeping score in our relationships and start participating in a more generous and fluid dance of mutual support. So let this new affirmation be a gentle seed planted in the fertile ground of your mind as you drift towards sleep. Let the words wash over you, and even if a part of you resists, just allow them to be present. You don't have to believe them fully right now. Just be willing to consider that they might be true. I am worthy of rest, care, and kindness without condition. Let's break that down. I am worthy. Not, I will be worthy when. Not, I am worthy of. Just, I am worthy. A simple, present tense statement of fact, of rest, care, and kindness. These are not luxuries. They are the essential nutrients for a human soul. Without condition. This is the most radical part. It means you are worthy of care on your best days and on your worst days. You are worthy when you are strong and when you are weak. You are worthy when you are succeeding and when you are failing. You are worthy when you are giving to others and when you have nothing left to give. Your worthiness is not tied to your performance. It is absolute. It is constant. It is your birthright. As you lie here, sinking into the comfort of your bed, you are a living embodiment of this truth. You are not doing anything to earn this rest. You are not producing anything of value. You are not helping anyone. You are simply being. And in this state of being, you are profoundly worthy of this comfort, this peace, this gentle slide into sleep. Sleep is the ultimate act of unconditional self-care. It is a time when the striving ceases. The body knows this truth instinctively. It knows it must rest to heal, to regenerate, to prepare for a new day. Your body does not ask you if you've earned the right to repair its cells. It simply does it. Tonight, let your mind align with the deep wisdom of your body. Let it accept that you are worthy of this healing, this restoration, this unconditional care, simply because you are here. And let that acceptance be the final peaceful thought that carries you into the depths of a truly deserved sleep. Now, as you float in this state of deep acceptance, having acknowledged your unconditional worthiness of care, let's gently turn a familiar perspective on its head. For so long, the story has been that when you need something, you are taking from others. You are a cost, a debit in someone else's emotional bank account. This perspective is at the very heart of the feeling of being a burden. It frames the act of needing as a selfish one. But what if we've been looking at the entire equation from the wrong angle? What if, in our moments of need, we are not taking, but offering? What if allowing someone to care for you is actually a profound gift that you give to them? Let's explore this shift in perspective. Think about a time when you had the opportunity to genuinely help someone you care about. A friend was going through a difficult breakup, and you sat with them for hours, just listening. A family member was sick, and you brought them a bowl of soup and tidied up their kitchen. A colleague was overwhelmed with a project, and you stayed late to help them meet a deadline. In those moments, how did you feel? Did you feel drained and resentful? Or did you feel a sense of purpose, of connection, of warmth? Did it feel good to be able to offer your strength, your compassion, your time? For most of us, the act of giving meaningful care is one of the most fulfilling experiences in life. It makes us feel capable and kind and connected. It reinforces our own value and our place in our community. It is a beautiful expression of love. Now consider this. When you refuse to allow others to do the same for you, you are denying them that very same beautiful, fulfilling experience. When you say, "I'm fine," when you are not, when you insist, "I can handle it myself," when you are struggling, you are essentially telling the people who love you, "I do not want the gift you are offering. Your care has no place here." You are, with the best of intentions, closing a door that they are trying to open. You are stopping the natural flow of love and support that wants to move in your direction. By trying to protect them from the burden of you, you are inadvertently robbing them of the joy and purpose that comes from giving. Receiving is not a passive act of taking. It is an active, courageous, and generous act of allowing. It requires vulnerability. It requires you to trust that you are worthy of care. And it requires you to trust that the other person's offer is genuine, that they give freely without resentment. When you allow someone to support you, you are giving them the gift of trust. You are saying, "I see you. I trust your strength. I trust your kindness. I am willing to be open and vulnerable with you." This is one of the greatest gifts you can give to another human being. It is the very foundation of true intimacy and deep connection. It creates a circle. When you only give, you create a one-way street. But when you allow yourself to receive, you complete the circle, creating a dynamic, flowing current of mutual care. This is a radical shift from the old model of emotional accounting, where we are constantly trying to keep the books balanced. The circle of connection is not about transactions, it is about flow. Sometimes you will be the one with a full cup, able to pour into others. At other times, your cup will be empty, and you will need to allow others to pour into you. This is not a sign of failure. It is the natural rhythm of life. It is how we survive and thrive together. The tree in the forest takes nutrients from the soil, but eventually, its own fallen leaves enrich that same soil. The bee takes nectar from the flower, but in doing so, it pollinates the flower, allowing it to create seeds and new life. It is a system of beautiful, selfless reciprocity. Let's allow a new affirmation to gently take root in your heart, watering the seeds of this new perspective. By allowing others to support me, I create space for love to flow. Feel the spaciousness in those words. You are not a burden. You are a creator of space. A space where your loved ones can express their kindness. A space where connection can deepen. a space where love, which is an active energy that needs to move, can find a welcoming home. Your vulnerability is not a weakness. It is an invitation. It is an opening. It is a generous offering of your authentic self to the people who have chosen to be in your life. They don't love a perfect, self-sufficient, invulnerable version of you. They love you, the real you, the you that sometimes gets tired and sad and overwhelmed. And allowing them to see and support that real you is what makes the relationship real. So, imagine for a moment, the next time you feel the impulse to say, "I'm fine," pausing and choosing to share a small piece of your truth instead. "Actually, I'm having a bit of a tough day." Imagine the next time someone offers help, instead of reflexively refusing, you take a breath and say, "Thank you. I would really appreciate that." Each time you do this, you are casting a vote for a new way of being. You are strengthening the muscle of receiving. You are not becoming a burden. You are becoming a better partner in the dance of human connection. You are allowing love to do what it is meant to do, to flow, to connect, to heal, and to hold. As you drift now, let go of the idea that you are a container that gets filled up by others. Instead, see yourself as a part of a river, a beautiful, flowing current of care that moves through all of us. Sometimes you are the current, and sometimes you are the riverbank, being shaped and nourished by the water. Both roles are essential. Both are beautiful. And tonight, as you sleep, your only role is to be the riverbank, to be still, to be held, and to allow the gentle, healing waters of rest and self-acceptance to flow over you, preparing you for the new day to come. You are not taking. You are simply allowing. And in that allowing, you are giving one of the greatest gifts of all. As you rest in this peaceful understanding of receiving as a gift, let's now turn the lens of your awareness back toward yourself, toward your own beautiful and generous heart. For so long, you have been focused on what you might be taking from others, on the potential cost of your existence. Let's set that story aside for a moment, and instead, let's remember the other side of the equation. Let's remember the profound kindness that you give so freely to the world. You have within you a deep wellspring of compassion. It is the very source of the sensitivity that sometimes causes you pain, but it is also the source of your greatest beauty and strength. Allow your mind to drift back, gently, over the landscape of your life. Without judgment or evaluation, simply let memories surface of all the times you have given care to others. Remember the times you listened to a friend, truly listened, offering them the quiet sanctuary of your full attention without needing to fix their problems. Remember making a meal for someone who was tired or grieving. Remember offering a word of encouragement to a colleague who was doubting themselves. Think of the small, unseen acts of kindness. Letting a car merge in front of you in traffic, holding a door for a stranger, offering a genuine smile to a cashier. These are not small things. They are the very threads that weave the fabric of a compassionate world. Recall the times you put your own needs aside to be there for someone else, not out of obligation, but because your heart genuinely moved you to do so. You have stayed up late to comfort a loved one. You have given your last ounce of energy to help your children. You have offered advice, support, and a shoulder to cry on, time and time again. And when you did these things, did you keep a running tally in your head? Did you present the person with an invoice for your emotional labor? Of course not. You gave from the heart. You gave freely, generously. and without keeping score. Because that is your nature. You are, at your core, a profoundly kind and giving soul. This is not about building yourself up or becoming arrogant. It is about seeing the truth clearly. It is about acknowledging a fundamental aspect of your character that you so often overlook because you are too busy worrying about your perceived deficits. You have a huge capacity for care. You see the needs of others with exquisite clarity. You respond to suffering with an open heart. This is the truth of who you are. This gentle, compassionate energy is not something you have to invent or strive for. It is already your factory setting. It is the steady, warm light that emanates from the core of your being. Now, here is the gentle invitation for tonight. Can you begin to turn that same beautiful, loving energy inward toward yourself? Imagine all the kindness you have ever poured out into the world. Imagine it as a warm, golden river of light that has been flowing out from your heart for your entire life. Now, in your mind's eye, gently cup your hands and redirect just a small portion of that river back toward yourself. Let that warm, familiar energy of your own kindness begin to flow into your own being. What would it feel like to treat yourself with the same gentle patience you offer a struggling friend? What would it feel like to listen to your own inner turmoil with the same non-judgmental compassion you give to a loved one? Think about how you would speak to a dear friend who came to you and said, "I feel like such a burden. I'm so tired, and I feel like I'm failing at everything." Would you agree with them? Would you say, "Yes, you are a burden. You need to try harder"? Never. You would soften your voice. You would lean in. You would say, "Oh, my dear friend, you are not a burden. You are exhausted. You are carrying so much. Please, let's set it down. Let me help you. You deserve to rest." You would offer them comfort, reassurance, and unconditional acceptance. Your heart would ache for their pain, and your every impulse would be to soothe it. That is the voice we are cultivating for your own inner world, the voice of your own innate kindness. You already know how to be this compassionate. You are an expert at it. The only part that is new is learning to see yourself as a worthy recipient of that compassion. You are just as deserving of your own kindness as anyone else you have ever cared for. Your own exhaustion is just as valid. Your own struggles are just as important. Your own heart is just as worthy of being soothed. This is not selfishness. It is the key to sustainable generosity. When you constantly pour from your own well without ever replenishing it, you will eventually run dry. You will be left with nothing to give anyone, least of all yourself. But when you learn to turn your own kindness inward, when you allow yourself to be nourished by your own compassion, you are refilling your well. You are ensuring that you have a deep and abundant source of care to draw from, for both yourself and for others. Tending to your own needs is the most generous thing you can do for the people you love. It ensures that you can continue to show up in the world with an open and resilient heart. So, as you lie here on the very edge of sleep, let your own profoundly kind and giving nature be a source of strength and comfort. Acknowledge it, honor it, be grateful for the gentle heart that beats within your chest, and let the final, loving act of that heart today be to grant yourself the same grace, the same permission to rest, the same unconditional acceptance that you have so freely and beautifully given to so many others. Let your own kindness be the soft blanket that tucks you in tonight. Let it be the gentle hand on your brow. Let it be the soothing whisper that says, "It's okay. You've done enough. You are enough. Now, rest." As you feel the warmth of your own kindness wrapping around you, let's take a moment to honor something truly remarkable. Let's acknowledge the immense and quiet strength it has taken for you to keep going, day after day, while carrying the heavy belief of being a burden. This is not a small thing. We often think of strength as something loud and visible, the lifting of heavy objects, the running of marathons, the leading of armies. But there is a different kind of strength, a quieter and perhaps even more profound resilience. It is the strength of the heart that continues to beat, to love, and to hope, even while carrying a silent, invisible weight. And that is the strength that you possess in abundance. Think about it for a moment. To navigate the world while a part of your own mind is constantly whispering that you are too much requires a Herculean effort. It is like trying to swim upstream against a relentless current. Every act of reaching out, every time you've shared an opinion, every request you've made has been an act of courage. It has meant pushing against the powerful tide of self-doubt and fear that tells you to stay small and silent. You may not have seen it as courage. You may have seen it as a struggle or a failure to be more confident. But from a place of deep compassion, we can see it for what it truly is, a testament to the unwavering resilience of your spirit. Every morning that you have gotten out of bed, despite the heavy feeling in your chest, has been a victory. Every conversation you have participated in, while managing the internal calculus of not taking up too much space, has been a display of incredible mental and emotional fortitude. Every time you have shown up for your life, for your family, for your work, while feeling fundamentally unworthy of your own place, you have been demonstrating a level of grit that goes completely unnoticed and uncelebrated by the world, and perhaps even by yourself. Until now. Tonight, we celebrate it. We honor the quiet, persistent courage of your own heart. This is the heart that has continued to give, even when it felt empty. It is the heart that has continued to care for others, even when it felt uncared for. It is the heart that has absorbed countless moments of perceived rejection or inconvenience, and, instead of hardening, has remained tender and sensitive. This tenderness is not a weakness. In a world that can be harsh and unforgiving, to remain open and soft-hearted is an act of profound rebellion and strength. Your sensitive heart has endured, and that is nothing short of a miracle. You have survived with this weight. Let that sink in. You have navigated complex relationships. You have faced challenges. You have experienced joys and sorrows, all while carrying this extra load. This is crucial to understand because it contains a powerful truth. The same strength that has enabled you to endure this burden is the very strength that will empower you to let it go. You are not starting from a place of deficit. You are starting from a place of proven, battle-tested resilience. You have already done the hardest part. You have carried the weight. Setting it down is the easier, lighter part of the journey. So let's reframe the narrative. You are not a fragile, broken person who needs to be fixed. You are a resilient survivor who has developed some painful but understandable coping mechanisms. And now, you are simply learning that you no longer need them. You are like a soldier who has been wearing heavy armor long after the battle is over. The armor protected you. It served its purpose, but now it is cumbersome and prevents you from moving freely. Recognizing this and choosing to take it off is not a sign that you were weak for wearing it. It's a sign that you are now strong and safe enough to live without it. Let this affirmation settle into your being, a deep recognition of the power that already resides within you. I have survived with this weight. I have the strength to let it go. Feel the truth in both parts of that statement. First, honor the survival. I have survived with this weight. Acknowledge the journey. Acknowledge the struggle. Give yourself full credit for the incredible resilience it has taken to get you to this very moment. Let go of any shame or judgment about having carried it for so long. Your survival is your badge of honor. And then, feel the empowerment in the second part. I have the strength to let it go. This is not a hopeful wish. It is a statement of fact, based on the evidence of your own life. The strength is not something you need to find outside of yourself. It is the very same strength you've been using all along. You are just redirecting it now, from enduring to releasing, from carrying to liberating. This recognition changes everything. It means you are not waiting for a magical cure. You are not waiting for someone to rescue you. You are simply activating a power that has been within you all along. The courage of your heart, which has kept you going through the darkest nights, is now the same courage that will guide you into a lighter, more peaceful dawn. You can trust this strength. It has been your faithful companion, your silent ally, even when you were unaware of it. And as you prepare to drift into sleep, you can rest in the deep and certain knowledge of its presence. You are so much stronger than you know. Your heart has a capacity for resilience that is truly awesome. Let yourself be held by that strength tonight. Let it be the firm and steady ground beneath you. There is a warrior spirit within your gentle soul, a quiet hero who has navigated an incredibly difficult inner landscape. And tonight, that hero deserves to rest, to lay down their armor, and to sleep the deep, peaceful, and victorious sleep of one who is finally coming home to their own power. As you rest in the quiet, knowing of your own strength, let's begin to weave all of these gentle threads together. We have traveled through understanding, compassion, and gentle reframing. Now is the time for integration, for allowing this new wisdom to move from a concept in your mind to a felt reality in your body. This is a crucial step. Beliefs are not just thoughts, they are embodied. The old story of being a burden lived in the tension of your shoulders, the clench of your jaw, the shallow nature of your breath. In the same way, this new story of your inherent worth and belonging must find a home in your very cells. It must become the new foundation upon which your body can truly and deeply rest. Let's begin by inviting this new understanding to settle into your bones. Imagine the words and feelings we have explored tonight: belonging, worthiness, strength, kindness, as a gentle, warm, golden light. See this light beginning to gather at the top of your head, and now feel it slowly, lovingly, beginning to seep into your body. It flows into your skull, soothing your mind, calming the neural pathways that held the old, anxious thoughts. It brings a feeling of deep peace to your brain, a quiet signal that the work of the day is done. The analysis, the worry, the calculation, it can all be released into this gentle, healing light. Feel this warm light flowing down into your face, relaxing the tiny muscles around your eyes, softening your cheeks, and releasing any lingering tension in your jaw. It flows into your throat, the place of your voice, soothing away the memory of words unspoken and apologies unneeded. It brings a feeling of freedom and ease to your expression. Then, let the light pour into your shoulders, melting away the last remnants of the heavy cloak you set down. Feel the muscles becoming soft, heavy, and deeply relaxed. The weight is truly gone. The light flows down your arms, into your hands, filling them with a sense of peace. Your hands, which have done so much, can now simply receive this healing energy. Now, feel the golden light pooling in your chest, in the space around your heart. This is the home of your courage and your kindness. Let the light saturate this entire area, dissolving any old aches of loneliness or unworthiness. It is like a warm, soothing balm on a tender place. Feel your heart itself becoming lighter, more buoyant, as it absorbs this truth of your unconditional worth. Your breath, as it moves through this space, feels fuller, freer, and more nourishing. You are breathing in your own value, your own belonging. Let the light continue its journey downwards, filling your abdomen, the center of your intuition and your core strength. It soothes your digestive system, releasing the knots of anxiety that so often gather there. It brings a sense of groundedness and stability. This new truth is not a fleeting idea. It is becoming your center of gravity. Feel the light flowing into your hips, your pelvis, releasing the deep-seated tension of holding yourself together for so long. And then let it flow down through your legs, heavy and warm, all the way to the soles of your feet. Your legs, which have carried you and your burdens, can now completely let go, supported entirely by the bed beneath you. Your entire body, from head to toe, is now filled with this gentle, golden light of self-acceptance. It is a physiological experience, a cellular shift. You are, in this moment, embodying your own worth. Now, let's weave these feelings into a tangible image of comfort. Imagine that this golden light, which fills you, now begins to emanate from you. It radiates out from your skin, and as it does, it begins to weave itself into a beautiful, soft, and comforting blanket. This is a blanket made of all the new truths we have explored. One thread is woven from the compassion you showed your younger self. Another thread is woven from the understanding that your needs are sacred. There are threads of your own kindness, threads of your quiet courage, threads of the tree in the forest, solid and unapologetic. There is a strong, silvery thread of the knowledge that you are not alone. And the main color, the deep, rich hue of the whole blanket, is the unconditional truth that you are worthy of care simply because you exist. Feel this blanket, this beautiful tapestry of your own healing, gently wrapping around you. It is perfectly weighted, providing a sense of security without being heavy. It is incredibly soft, a comfort to your skin, and it is warm, infused with the heat of your own self-compassion. This is not a scratchy wool blanket of obligation. This is a blanket of pure, unconditional acceptance. As it envelops you, it feels like the most profound and safest hug you have ever received. It is a hug from your wisest self to your most vulnerable self. It is a feeling of coming home. Under the comfort of this new blanket, you can finally let go of the last traces of striving. This feeling of belonging is not something you have to hold on to. It is now the foundation. It is the new reality. It is the ground on which you rest. You can allow your muscles to go completely limp, your mind to go completely quiet, trusting that you are held. You are held by your bed. You are held by this new understanding, and you are held by the deep, unwavering truth of your own worth. There's nothing more you need to figure out tonight. There's nothing you need to practice or remember. You have done the work. The integration is happening on a level deeper than thought as you surrender to sleep. Let the feeling of being wrapped in this warm, woven blanket of worth be the final sensation that carries you over the threshold into dreamland. It is your shield against the old whispers of doubt. It is your comfort if you wake in the night. It is the new truth that will be waiting for you when you open your eyes in the morning. Rest now, deeply and peacefully, wrapped in the undeniable truth of your own goodness. You are safe. You are held. You belong. And so, we arrive at the softest edge of the night. The journey of the mind is complete. We have traveled far together, from the quiet ache of too much to this warm, woven blanket of worth. We have explored the landscapes of the past with compassion and reframed the present with gentle wisdom. The active part of our time together is now drawing to a close. This is the gentle transition from active thought to passive relaxation. It is a clear and loving signal to your mind that its work is done for the night. You have given it so much to process, and now you must give it the gift of release. Imagine your mind is like a diligent office worker who has stayed late, sorting through files and organizing papers. Now, you, the kind and wise manager of your own being, can walk in and say, "Thank you. You have done wonderful work. The rest can wait until morning. It is time to turn off the lights, lock the door, and go home to rest." Give your mind this explicit permission. You can even say it silently to yourself. My mind's work is done for the night. My only job now is to rest. Feel the profound relief in that statement. The pressure is off. There are no more problems to solve, no more insights to uncover, no more healing to strive for. The seeds have been planted, and now they will be watered by the quiet mystery of sleep. Now, we will invite the body into its deepest state of relaxation, limb by limb, releasing the very last traces of striving or effort. Bring your awareness, for one final time, to your physical form, lying here in the darkness. Let's begin with your feet. Feel the weight of your feet at the end of the bed. Consciously release them. Let go of any tension in your toes, your arches, your ankles. Your feet have carried you through the day. Their work is done. Allow them to be completely limp, heavy, and at ease. Let this feeling of deep, heavy relaxation flow up into your calves and your shins. Feel the muscles letting go, becoming soft and pliable. Release any tension in your knees. And now, feel this wave of profound rest moving into your thighs. Your thighs are some of the largest and strongest muscles in your body, and they can hold a great deal of tension. Intentionally let them go. Feel their full weight sinking down into the mattress. Your legs have become heavy, warm, and completely still. They are anchors of peace, grounding you in this present moment of rest. Now bring this wave of release into your hips, your pelvis, and your lower back. This is an area where we hold so much deep-seated tension, the stress of sitting, standing, and moving through the world. Allow this entire region to soften and spread. Feel your lower back releasing its arch and settling more fully into the bed. You are completely supported. There is no need to hold yourself up anymore. The mattress is doing all the work. You can surrender your full weight to it. Feel the relaxation move up your spine, vertebra by vertebra. It spreads across your abdomen, allowing your belly to be soft and your breath to move deeply and easily. It moves up into your chest, soothing the space around your heart. And it spreads across your upper back and into your shoulders, releasing that final layer of responsibility. Your entire torso is now in a state of profound peace, heavy, warm, and sinking into a state of deep repose. Let this peaceful sensation flow down your arms, from your shoulders to your elbows, your forearms, your wrists, and your hands. Feel your fingers, which have been so busy grasping and doing, become completely soft and open. Your arms are heavy by your sides, utterly still. Their work is also done for the day. Finally, let this wave of relaxation move into your neck and your head. Release the muscles in your neck that have been holding your head up. Let your head feel its true weight on the pillow. The pillow is holding it perfectly. You can let go. Soften your scalp. Smooth out your forehead. Relax the space between your eyebrows. Let your eyelids be gently closed, without any tension. Allow your jaw to be slack, your tongue to rest softly in your mouth. Your entire body, from the tips of your toes to the very top of your head, is now in a state of complete and total relaxation. You are a still, calm pool of quiet awareness. There is nothing more to do, nothing at all. This is the essence of this moment, the release from all doing, the simple, beautiful, profound state of being. Your body knows how to sleep. It is an ancient wisdom encoded in your DNA. You do not need to figure it out or make it happen. You simply need to create the right conditions, and you have done that beautifully. You have quieted your mind. You have released your body. You have soothed your heart. Now, all you have to do is get out of the way and let the gentle, inevitable tide of sleep pull you out into its peaceful, healing ocean. Your only job now is to rest. Let these words be the final gateway. Your only job now is to rest. There is no task more important in this moment, no thought more compelling, no feeling that needs to be analyzed. Simply rest. Allow the silence between these words to grow longer, more spacious. Allow the darkness to feel like a soft, velvet blanket. You are safe. You are ready. Sleep is coming to welcome you now, like an old and trusted friend. And so, you float. Here, in the quiet harbor, just before the deep ocean of sleep, the shore of the thinking mind is far behind you now. The waters are calm, dark, and profoundly peaceful. There is nothing left to hold on to, nothing left to figure out. The words now are just gentle currents, nudging you softly toward the depths. They are not for analyzing. They are simply sounds, like the distant rhythmic wash of waves on a shore. Let them wash over you and through you. Have you ever considered the immense trust involved in the act of sleep? Each night, every living creature on this planet performs this sacred ritual of surrender. We let go of our vigilance. We release our grip on the world. We close our eyes to the known and allow ourselves to drift into a mystery. We trust that the sun will rise again. We trust that our heart will continue to beat and our lungs will continue to breathe, all without our conscious command. Sleep is the ultimate act of faith in life itself. It is a deep remembering that we are part of something much larger, a cosmic rhythm of activity and rest, of light and darkness. Tonight, you are participating in this ancient, sacred rhythm. You are not failing at staying awake. You are succeeding at surrendering to the wisdom of the universe. You belong here, not just in this bed, in this room, but here, in this grand, unfolding mystery. The same intelligence that spins the galaxies and unfurls the fern frond is the intelligence that is breathing you right now. You are not separate from it. The feeling of being a burden is the illusion of separateness. It is the belief that you are a solitary, problematic island. But the truth, the deeper truth you can feel in this profound state of rest, is that you are a wave in the ocean of being. Your existence is not an imposition on the whole. It is an expression of the whole. You are life itself, experiencing itself for a little while as you. You are enough. Let that simple truth be the ground beneath you, the air you breathe, the water that holds you. Enough. Not when you are better or stronger or more productive, but right now, in this moment, lying here, breathing softly in the dark. You are perfectly and completely enough. All the striving, the proving, the earning, it was all based on a misunderstanding. The universe does not ask you to justify your existence. It simply rejoices in it. Your presence is your purpose. Your breath is your contribution. You have nothing to prove. The verdict was in the moment you were born. You are a worthy, integral, and beloved part of this world. Sleep is coming now. You can feel it. A gentle heaviness in your limbs. A pleasant fog in your mind. Thoughts, if they appear at all, are like distant clouds drifting lazily across a vast, empty sky. They have no energy, no charge. You can watch them come and go without needing to follow them. They are not you. You are the sky. Vast, open, and at peace. Do not chase sleep. Do not grasp for it. Simply allow it to arrive. It knows the way. It is your oldest friend, your most faithful healer. It is the gentle hand that will lead you through the darkness and deliver you safely to the new light of morning. Safe, deep, and peaceful rest. These are the gifts of the night. Safety from the worries of the world. A deep dive into the healing waters of your own subconscious. And a peace that passes all understanding. This is what you deserve. Not because you have earned it, not because you have been good, but simply because you are here. Because you are a living, breathing soul who needs to be restored. Allow yourself to receive these gifts now, fully and without reservation. There are no conditions. There is nothing more to do. You belong here. You are enough. Sleep is coming now. Safe, deep, and peaceful rest.